case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for.
In 1942, the United States Supreme Court heard the case of Sioux Tribe of Indians versus United States, which centered around the issue of whether the president could grant interests in lands through executive orders, and if those interests could be terminated by the executive or Congress without compensation. The Sioux Tribe initiated legal proceedings against the U.S. government under the Act of June 3, 1920, which allowed them to bring claims for unpaid money or property without regard to time limits. They claimed that around 5 million acres of land had been taken from them in 1879 and 1884 without compensation. Their claim was rejected by the Court of Claims, and the case was then brought to the Supreme Court. The 1868 treaty granted the Sioux Tribe absolute and undisturbed use and occupation of the Great Sioux Reservation in South Dakota and Nebraska, with no one except government officers and agents allowed to pass over, settle upon, or reside in the territory. However, this case did not concern the lands included in that reservation. The Supreme Court ultimately ruled that the Sioux Tribe did not have a compensable interest in lands granted by the 1875 and 1876 executive orders. The 1879 and 1884 orders were deemed valid termination exercises, and no compensation was required, as Congress did not recognize the Indians' entitlement to it.
Case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for. Visit lsc.law, elevate your mind. Leave the stress of class.